Ready, it's been fun playing against each other, but I think everyone's ready to play against someone else.
Do you think you guys are ready for the season? I mean, ready to play? And
Yeah, everyone's just getting everything cleaned up, ready to go, just getting everything kind of, tightened up, making sure everything's good with the swing and approach and everything, and getting ready to go.
how good do you feel like you guys are at this point going into the season?
I feel pretty good about us. It's definitely going to be nice to see everyone on the same team after inter-squatting against each other for so long and being on separate teams. When you put everyone kind of on the same team, we look a lot better.
So, last year you had a pretty veteran team. This year you have some veterans like yourself and a lot of new guys you're counting on too. What's the different feeling going into the season compared to last season?
Yeah, it's a little different for me, for sure, because last year we had a ton of those older guys, like you said. All the juniors and seniors we had kind of, took the lead, and this year it's kind of I'm the older guy, and we have a couple other guys back, Isaiah, and a couple veteran guys that played a lot with me. But it's just a little different field now that I'm a little older, and we have a lot of younger guys.
Dom, is it weird saying that you're one of the older guys, and how have you kind of embraced that role?
Yeah, I kind of showed up in the fall and looked around and was like, holy crap, like I'm the older guy now. I'm the one that the freshmen are looking to, so I kind of try to help everyone out as best as I can and try to get everyone prepared for the big season coming up.
How do you feel personally this season going into this season?
I feel great. I was battling a couple minor injuries in the last couple weeks, but I should be good to go by Friday.
How do you feel Heston's done over there in right field?
He's done really well. I think he wanted to go over there, and he has a really good arm out there. You want your right fielder to have a good arm. And then I think he was kind of battling the sun a little bit in left, so moving him over to right would probably help with that a little bit.
Not that he wasn't a good hitter anyway, but can being more comfortable in an outfield spot, can that help a guy's hitting?
Welcome in. It's our Thursday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio on KDSJ 479. It's our February 14th edition, and you know what February 14th is, don't you, Demetrius? As I speak with my co-host producer, do you got your significant other you got to take care of today? As I want to say from us here of OTH, happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there, and back to you. You got to take care of.
I'm good. I'm trying to figure out, have you taken care of your sugar boo?
Hey, if you want, I could be anybody's sugar boo today. I'm a free guy. If anybody wants to send those, what you say, Demetrius, those chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah, them chocolate covered strawberries.
Ooh, see, I like the chocolate covered caramel. That's what or is it caramel? Which one do you call it? Is it caramel or caramel? That's what it is. Well, we came in today with audio from junior center fielder Dominic Fletcher, as Arkansas is set to have their home opener this weekend. And I know a lot of people are excited as they're going to be taking on the Eastern Illinois in Baum Walker Stadium. The new name, Demetrius, has been christened, and it's on all the gates when you go by. That's a pretty exciting time. What you think about that? The new stadium, Baum Walker.
It's cool.
But it takes 25 years to do what's right.
Yeah.
Now, we won't even get off into that. That's for another show. That's for another show. I won't be that way, but we got a good show planned for you today. We don't get a chance to talk a lot of high school athletics, and my producer and Demetrius thought this was the avenue that we need to go down, and we're going to go down a lot more here in the coming weeks, months, and over the course of our show. So we're going to talk a little high school basketball and what way to do it. What better way to do it than to catch up with the state's top girls high school basketball program and speak with their head coach. Ricky Smith is going to be joining us at 1:15 to talk about his Grizzlies and, just the road ahead. They're 23-0 with a big old bullseye on their chest. We'll talk about how the Grizzlies are faring and what's to come, like I said, in weeks to come. And then we're going to follow up with another Diamond Gang 2020 Vision prospect, Cedric Van Pran of New Orleans Warren Easton High School, offensive guard / center, will be joining at 1:30 to talk about his recruitment here as the Arkansas Razorbacks have cast their lie by offering Cedric just a couple of weeks ago in late January. He received his offer. We'll have SVP on, and he'll give us his take to where just Coach Mo and the staff, where they stand, with his recruitment. And then we're going to open up the phone lines at 1:45. You want to talk to us about SVP and what he has to say regarding the Chad Morrison, the 2020 vision, hashtag Diamond Gang, or want to comment on Coach Ricky Smith and the Northside Girls high school basketball in the state of Arkansas. You can do so at that time at 479-601-7400. But back over to my home guy. That's his name here on OTH, my home guy. How you feeling today, man? You got any special plans? I know you said you got the candy, but are y'all going to eat or what? What's that plan?
No, we just chilling today.
You ain't gonna cook for her at the house?
Nah, not today. I gotta go to work.
Oh, you couldn't get off?
Nope.
Today is the day you call in and say, I'm sorry, boss, but I ain't feeling too well. This is ironically so.
See, I could do that, but then on the first, I'm baby. I need to borrow some money.
Then say, boss, my check is short. I got to pay rent. And he gonna say, well, I could, but you wasn't here the days you need to be here, right? Is that how it's gonna go?
Yeah, that's exactly how it's gonna go.
We'll be making our way today later on, and we'll have audio tomorrow previewing Arkansas's home game versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Tip off at 7:30 p.m. Saturday night in Bud Walton Arena. We'll have audio as we'll be making our way. Coach Mike Anderson and players will be made available to us here shortly to preview that ball game. And it's a tremendously big ball game, Demetrius. When you look at this team, 5-6, 7 remaining. 5 of those 7 are top tier ball clubs. You know, when you look at Mississippi State, when you look at Kentucky, Auburn, when you look at Alabama, you're going to have to go on the road to Kentucky, Auburn, and Vanderbilt. This game here is you have to get this win to have any type of outside chance to still be considered for tournament talk, don't you think, Dick?
Yeah, they definitely need a W. I think this is a huge game. They've lost 2 in a row, so they definitely need to come home with a dub.
Well, we're going to step away and get us a real quick break, and we're going to let you hear audio from starting Friday pitcher Isaiah Campbell. He's going to just come on and talk a little bit about what he's looking forward to in this season and being getting that Friday opportunity. And then follow him up. Time to talk a little high school basketball with the #1 girls basketball team in the state's head coach, Ricky Smith from Northside High School. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479.
Get the season going.
Yeah, we've been working all year since the fall for this Friday coming up and to get on the mound, or the whole team, for me especially, get on the mound and face Eastern Illinois, face a different opponent.
I know that you've worked hard to become that Friday starter for this team. What's it going to mean to you to take that mound and have that role for Arkansas?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Pitching on Friday nights and on every Friday for Arkansas is a big deal, especially in the SEC, because you know you're going to have to bring your best every week because the other team's going to be pitching their best, and just pitching in front of this crowd every Friday is going to be awesome. Cold doesn't affect me. Being from Kansas, used to weird weathers. If it's 30 or if it's 70, I won't be fazed by it.
They got you on a pretty strict pitch count, or?
Yeah, it's going to be around 70 to 75 pitches for the first week.
You know much about Eastern Illinois' lineup?
Or? No, a little bit right now. It's kind of a little line that's a little more experienced. It's kind of how a lot of schools are from the north and stuff. But we're going to go over more in depth on Eastern Illinois on Thursday.
Those guys, obviously, they're excited to play an SEC team. What do you expect from them?
They're going to give us their best. It's going to be one of their first times outside, and they're coming in here to at least win one game, maybe 2, take a series. So we're going to have to play our best to come out of there with a sweep.
How do you feel about your defense? A lot of new pieces out there. People have moved around a little bit. The defense behind you.
Oh, I'm excited for our defense. I mean, we got one of the best outfields with Fletcher and Heston, and whoever plays left, whether it's Franklin or somebody else. And the infield is solid all around. Got Kinley, Nesbitt, Ezell, Marty. And then with Opitz behind the plate or Plunga behind the plate, we're privileged to have a really good lineup behind us.
What do you see from Heston making the switch from left to right field?
He did an easy transition. He just looks like a natural out in the outfield. He's worked a lot, getting better reads on fly balls and stuff, and I think he'll transition really well.
I know fans are excited. Come in here and get the stadium filled up and get baseball season underway. Just the support that this program has.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, you saw it in Omaha last year. I mean, it literally felt like we were playing in Bomb Stadium just in Omaha. We have a whole state behind us because there's no pro team here, so playing in front of 6,000 to 10,000 fans every weekend is special for all of us.
Too bad you surprised Dave.
Welcome back in. It's our Thursday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio here on KDSJ 479 as we come to you each and every day from 1 to 2 p.m. And today was just one of those days. Things are happening really well in the state of Arkansas, but none better than high school girls basketball here in the state of Arkansas. So we thought we'd catch up with the best in the state, their high school coach, the Northside Grizzlies, Ricky Smith. Ricky, welcome to the Hill, my man.
Yes, sir. Great to be here.
Talk about your ball club, 23-0, Ricky. This is a team I know each and every Tuesday and Friday that your ladies take the court. There's a big bullseye on their chest. Talk about how they've been able to handle it up to this point.
Well, that's one thing I'm very proud of. We have faced a lot of good opposition this year, and the kids have really, really risen to the challenge. We returned 4 starters off last year's 26-4 team, went to the state semifinal, and 2 of those kids were freshmen that we moved up and started. So, our leading scorers has been Jersey Wolfenbarger, a 10th grader, and Sarah Bashir is a senior that signed early, and both kids are really playing good basketball and have been great leaders both on and off the court for us.
Jersey's is a unique talent, Ricky. I got a chance to see her several years ago at her younger age. A little frailly, kind of beanpole type of kid. She's grown into this 6'2" phenom. Talk about her growth, Ricky, from last year to this year, and what is her ceiling going forward as she has still 2 more years left of high school ball.
Well, Jersey's she's different. I've coached at Northside High School for 25 years, and I've never had a kid like this one. She's special. She came into the program 5'9", skinny freshman that we kind of threw in the fire last year. There's several times she was our leading scorer, and she really matured throughout the season and continually improved. This year she comes back about 6 foot. And has really, still has the guard skills that she works on daily. And as the season has progressed, she's grown now to pushing 6'2", and continues to grow. Just a phenomenal person. Her work ethic in all of my years of coaching, I've never had anyone close to what she does. She's in the gym 4 hours a night after practice on her own. Every weekend, she's going to meet with a personal trainer. She's in yoga. She's studying film. I mean, this kid is she's a program basketball player, and she can't get enough of it. And it's just a joy to watch a kid that works that hard start to see the success that she deserves, And she had 28 the other night against Conway, Tuesday night against Conway, and had 21 of those in the first half. And it's just a phenomenal prospect. A kid that I think in the next 2 years, when her body starts to mature, and she's 6'2", about 25 right now, and that's giving her a little bit. So when she starts putting on some weight and getting stronger and starts to mature a little bit, I think you're going to see her game just explode even farther.
When you look at your season, Ricky, you're sitting at 23-0. I mean, it's been a long season, as we know. But break down, this season, and how have you seen your team progress from non-conference to right there in the beginning of conference to where they are now heading down the stretch?
Well, I've told the kids this all year long, but we felt like we had a really good basketball club going into the season, and so we tried to play as many tough games as we could. We went down this summer and went to Mississippi State team camp, and Vic put us up against some really, really good opponents. Went to Arkansas, played some really, really good opponents up there with Mike. And so we saw this summer there was the potential for our team to be an outstanding basketball club. And, when we started the season, we didn't talk about winning every game. That's never, we still don't. All right, we don't discuss that. We just talk about winning the next game. And that's all we focused on, just trying to win that next basketball game. And our kids have, taken some pretty good challenges. We played Moore, Oklahoma in our Tournament of Champions and beat them. It's a close ball game, and we beat them. And I think they've since been running the table in the state of Oklahoma. So we played some really good teams in Oklahoma, and we're beating all those. And then we went over the Christmas holidays up to Springfield, Missouri, and played all the area schools up in the I think Springfield, Kansas City area, and played some pretty good basketball up there also. But as I've stated over the years, Arkansas girls basketball is as good as any state in the country. And we get back and you see Conway, that's coming from the state of Texas, probably the biggest tournament, the holiday tournament, and they get runner-up and get beaten in overtime by one of the top teams in the nation. And so, you face those guys in your own conference. You got North Little Rock. We also made a non-conference trip up to Bentonville and played in the Malik Monk shootout. So,
Right.
As a coach, we've tried to challenge our team, by going out and playing the best we could, play Greenwood, and 6A or 5A, they're a quality team, and it's just been a fabulous season. It's gone by pretty fast. It really has. This week's been kind of long. You get Conway on Tuesday night, and then you turn around and go to North Little Rock on Friday night. So I'm calling this week Shark Week. But we're very, very we shoot the basketball really, really well. If
Right.
anyone gets a chance to see our team play, I think you'll see that we're not the most athletic team I've ever coached at Northside, but the basketball IQ and the basketball fundamentals and just the shooting percentages for us this year is probably as good as we've ever had.
Talking with head girls coach of Northside High School, Ricky Smith, here on the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. Ricky, I want to piggyback on a comment that you just made. Girls high school basketball in the state of Arkansas. I'm of the proponent that it is some of the best all across the country, as multiple collegiate programs are starting to recruit in state. What do you attribute that, that jump in talent and, with so many elite girls now in the state? What do you think that's because of?
Well, I think guys like you, guys that get involved in the AAU programs and working hard over the summers and just getting all of our kids playing as much basketball as possible. Nike sponsors our school, and so I work a lot of the Nike satellite summer camps, and I've traveled all around. I've seen some of the best players in the country, and I promise you, Northside, the state of Arkansas girls basketball, what we have coming up in the state, talent-wise, is as good as any in the country. And that's why you'll see as many colleges coming in and recruiting our kids. For example, last year, UConn comes in and gets the number one player in the country out of CAC in Little Rock. And so, the girls basketball has just exploded. The level of competition is as good as it gets. We're ranked nationally in a couple of polls, and some of the pollsters called me from the USA Today, and he's talking about our state. And, he's honest. He said, "Hey man, it's going to be hard to win in the state of Arkansas. I don't care what you're ranked." And I said, "I know. We face it night in and night out." And so there's really good coaches. There's great AAU programs in the summer. And then, our kids are getting started at an early age and playing a lot of good basketball. And so, it makes for exciting times. Mike at Arkansas is really, they play such a fast tempo and fun game, and he's brought some enthusiasm and excitement up there. And so there's a lot of good Division II schools in the state. Obviously, ULR and A-State have done a great job. So it's just girls basketball is really, really good in the state of Arkansas. And we've played all across the country. We've been to San Francisco, we've been to Gillette, Wyoming, we've been to Phoenix, Arizona a couple of times, and we've more than held our own most of the time throughout those trips. And we're lucky to be one of the Nike Elite travel teams, so it allows us an opportunity to play this high level of competition. And I back it up by saying Fayetteville, Bentonville, Conway, those elite teams, they're right there with anybody in the country. The only thing we kind of lack, honestly, from across the country is that 6'4", 6'5" kid that some of those prep schools can get in.
Right.
But other than that, that's the only thing that separates us from the top 5, top 7 teams in the nation.
Talking with Ricky Smith, head girls basketball coach at Fort Smith Northside High School. Ricky, I want to talk about your programs, because when you talk about elite, none other than your programs, you are a Nike sponsor team, and you've been that way for quite some time. I'd have to say, you have been the pioneer for, the growth and exposure of the state of Arkansas. But, from a standpoint of you've done it so long, Ricky, what drives you each and every year to continue to build a program that you've sustained for so long?
Just fear of failure. I mean, I know that we've been coaching a long time. Scott Thompson's been with me a long time. We've been at Northside High School 25 years. And, Tuesday night we had an opportunity to clinch a conference, or we feel like we win one more out of our next three to be a conference champion. And I think that's our 17th out of 25 years. And I don't take that for granted. I mean, we're very blessed to be able to coach some of the kids we have at Northside High School. And just for me, what drives me is fear of failure. Every day you wake up, you start thinking about, things that can go wrong and what we have to do to try to be successful. And so, 10 wins really doesn't offset that one loss for me. So, I mean, that's a motivating factor. And so you just keep going to work. You watch as much film as you can. You push your kids. And I've got a great coaching staff. Scott Thompson's been with me for 20 years. Randa Grant was an all-state player at Howell, Oklahoma, won a state championship, been with me before. And then we picked up Merrill Lankin when he retired. He's a legendary coach, won 600-700 basketball games, and he's our volunteer coach. And so, when you got a coaching staff like that and you surround them with some pretty good players, it makes for a lot of success. But the biggest thing for us, is not taking it for granted, not letting our community take it for granted. When we get beat, it's not, congratulate the other team. It's what happened, And so
Right.
I don't like to hear what happened. So we just try to go out, and like I said, at the beginning of the year, we felt like we had a chance to be pretty good, and we didn't focus on winning every game. We just focused on winning the next one.
Well, Ricky, as always, man, love having you on, and I'll see you at the state tournament as the 6A state tournament is at Bentonville West. But congratulations, continue to do what you do, and good luck this Friday, my man. And as always, thanks for taking time out on the hill, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the contact.
That was Northside head girls basketball coach Ricky Smith of the #1 ranked Northside Grizzlies. There's 23-0, and we'll be heading on the road to take on the North Little Rock Lady Charger Wildcats in what will be yet another 6A outstanding matchup with a lot of talent on that floor this Friday night. But we're going to take a quick break. We caught up with Heston Kerstad, sophomore right fielder. He's going to be talking about this upcoming ball game versus Eastern Illinois. And then when we come back, it's the main thing of the main thing. It's part of the Diamond Gang 2020 vision. Cedric Van Pran of New Orleans, Louisiana, Warren Easton High School. He'll be up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. I could hear him, but it was just... I can't forget.
For a while.
I feel pretty good about it. It's a little different angle, but still the same thing as left field. You just got to catch whatever comes your way.
And Don was saying you also got a good arm out there. How do you feel about your arm in right field?
I feel like it's a good fit for me arm-wise, making some longer throws, and it'll be fun out there.
You think it's a little better fit for you than left field, or?
I feel like it's just position the play, and, I just got to get my job done there.
How ready are you to play just after Omaha and everything else, just to get back on?
We've been ready ever since we got back here in the fall, and opening day a few days away. Super excited. Can't wait.
Yeah, how anxious are you because you have fall ball and then you got preseason practice? Just how how excited you guys get to play, start the season again?
We're super excited. You feel the buzz around the locker room and around practice and stuff. Just can't wait for opening day.
Where do you?
Does that affect you all at all? Because fans already think you're going to Omaha before you never get a pitch yet.
Oh, that's the way it is. We have the same view. We think our team's going to make the Omaha do really well, but that's every year. You just got to feed off of it, focus one day at a time, one at bat at a time, and just see what you can do.
Huston, compared to last year, the dynamic of this team and the makeup of this team compared to last year?
Last year I feel like we had a lot more older guys filling the roles with
a few younger guys to push them along. But this year it's a little reversed, and there's less experience and more younger guys. But I think it's good for us.
You think because there are a lot of younger guys, you and maybe Casey Martin have a bigger role to kind of play this year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Being the older guys on the team, we got to help them out, teach them the ropes, and, lead them along and help them out as much as we can.
What's it going to be like having Bumps Walker Stadium filled up and having all the fans out here to finally watch it?
Oh, it's going to be great. It gives you chills every time it happens, so just excited to be out here again.
Yeah, Eastern Illinois, obviously, they're not LSU. How do you feel about opening up against a team like Eastern Illinois?
Oh, whoever it is, go out there and you're going to play your hardest. You're just excited.
Welcome back. It's our Thursday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. It's our Valentine's edition of On the Hill. You can catch us here each and every day on KDSA 479. Real quick, want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Lindsay and Associates with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also too in Rogers. The Baymont Hotel, it's located at 735 South Shiloh Drive in Fayetteville, and Locomotion located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall. And now the main thing is the main thing. Let's get on with the Diamond Gang / 2020 Vision. Guest of the day, Cedric Van Prayen of New Orleans, Louisiana, Warren Easton High School. SVP, welcome to the Hill, my man.
How you doing, Mr. Pat? Great to have me on the show. Well, it feels great to be on the show, rather.
We got SVP ESPN at night, but we're going to have SVP here on OTH right about now and talking the Diamond Gang. Let's get off into your recruiting. Said, how's things been going up to this part? I know it's early in the recruiting process, but how have you handled all that up to this point?
Things have gotten really crazy in the past couple months. I want to say about the last 2 or 3 months, things have really started to ease up. But I just came off of a loss in the state championship, so I've really just been focusing on trying to make sure I get my team back to that point where we can win it, and I'm just focusing on myself. So I just let my father deal with the recruiting.
When you look at your season, following your junior year, going into your senior season, what are some things, SVP, that you want to work on as an offensive lineman to prepare yourself for what you hope to be a championship at the end of next year?
Technique. Technique is the biggest thing I'm going to stress to myself and my teammates this year, just because, being in the city kid, we usually play off a lot of talent and just natural skill. So the technique is there, but I want to be excellent. I don't just want to be good.
Warren Easton, you guys play top quality competition in that conference each and every weekend. How does that prepare you, SVP, for when you get to the collegiate game, in several years?
I think that prepares me a lot because, every weekend, like I'm playing against a different sleeper D lineman. So, I think, God blesses me to play in the SEC like I want to. I think that definitely I'm going to have to compete each and every weekend. I think now it's just like a mini test, just to get me ready for that.
When you look at Arkansas, they came into the offer ring with you roughly toward the end of last month in January. I believe it was around the 24th, 25th. Talk about Arkansas and what, is it about Arkansas that, gauges your interest and to possibly maybe coming up this spring and taking a look at it?
I think the biggest thing for me with Arkansas is the connection that they have with the Louisiana players. I see the same type of relationship that Florida is kind of built. So I think definitely that the fact that Arkansas is an upper rising program and that they are building a relationship with the Louisiana guys is a great thing to me. So I definitely want to try to get on campus.
When you look at Devin Bush, whom you had a chance to play against in last year's state championship game, guys like Greg Brooks, guys that in that New Orleans area, they've cast their lot with the University of Arkansas. And then you look back even further, Scooter Harris is a guy that a lot of prospects in the New Orleans area looks at. How does that impact, like you said, the guys in Louisiana, in particular in that New Orleans area when Arkansas is concerned?
It definitely just shows us, that Arkansas has love for us. So, if you're going to Arkansas, that being a Louisiana guy is not going to be a strange thing. So, that you will have love up there, and it definitely feels good, to be in a situation where it's all love.
Now, SVP, you got a teammate on your team who carries the ball quite a bit and is sought after by so many schools in the country, that being Arkansas. You guys do a lot of Twitter fun, as several times, he'll get an offer, you'll, in fun, tweet it out, and vice versa. Talk about just the fun that you guys have on Twitter and, how much fun that is to be able to take part in.
Well, like I said in the interview when Jared Rosa asked me about it, the guy, he's just very unpredictable. So it started off as a running joke, He was in the offer at the same time that I got the offer. So, he tweeted it out, and it's just been like an ongoing joke that we went on with. And it's pretty funny to me because, at the end of the day, that's family. So I don't take it as him trying to steal my thunder. It's just a joke.
When you look at, players that play your position, SVP, who is at the collegiate or the NFL level that you like to study on Saturdays or Sundays, and then Friday night go out and, add parts of what they do into your game?
I watch a lot of the Pouncey twins, and a lot of Zach Street as well. Those are three guys that I watch a lot.
Now, you got a lot of, notice LSU's offered, the A&Ms, the Alabamas, all over the country. Are you looking to go to a school to where you can start the process of building, a strong foundation, or that's just something that you just hadn't decided yet?
Something I haven't decided yet. I'm kind of in between, whether I want to be, winning and competing for national championship, or if I want to go somewhere and build the program to get to that point. It's definitely something that I contemplate with on a daily basis. But I just believe that God will lead to the right choice, and that's how I'm kind of taking it.
I'm coming to Louisiana. I'm at Warren Easton High School. I've got my popcorn because, SVP, I don't want no ice in my pop. I'm going to get all that, and then I'm going to the top bleacher in that stadium. What type of player will I see and everybody in that stadium see in number 63 when it's time to go get it?
When it's time to go get it, you're going to see a very explosive player. You're going to see a player that has a good first step, low back, and explosion through the hips. And you're also going to see a leader. Through my high school process, well, not high school process, high school career, I was always a leader, but I started off as more of a lead by example. Now I'm becoming more vocal. So definitely this season, if you would have come, and definitely next season, you're going to see a way more vocal guy on the sideline with my teammates.
Talking with Cedric Van Pran, soon to be 2020 senior Arkansas major prospect in what they call the Diamond Gang, the 2020 vision at Warren Easton High School there in New Orleans, Louisiana. Last question, SVP, before I let you go. When football is done for Cedric Van Pran, he'll be doing what afterwards?
Either I'll be in some form a graphic designer or logo designer. I either also envision myself dealing with fashion. But if the Lord does bless me, to get into football and I make enough money, I definitely want to get into real estate as well. So that's just kind of the things that I've been throwing back and forth. So definitely real estate. I want to major in graphic designer. So something between those realms.
Well, hey, my man, I know with your plan and your vision and talking to you, you're going to be able to accomplish, SVP, anything that you set your mind to, and look forward to continuing this journey on and having you on. And as always, big fella, thanks for taking time out on the hill, SVP.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. That was four-star offensive lineman, big-time 2020 vision prospect for Coach Mo and staff there, Dustin Fry. Cedric Van Pran of New Orleans, Louisiana, Warren Easton High School, multiple offers, Demetrius. And when you hear this young man, as you had a chance to hear this segment, what sticks out to you about SVP, in your opinion?
To me, his faith. That was something that really stuck out and jumped off me as soon as the interview. He gave God the accreditation. He accredited God for his success, and I think that's crucial when you have young guys that have the opportunity to really excel and go to D1. Usually those are guys with an ego. They
Right.
young men that get a lot of attention and a lot don't know what to do with the attention that comes with being a high caliber athlete. But he seems to have his head on right, and like I said, I just like the fact that he acknowledged God and wanted everybody to know he's a believer.
And this is a young man that's being sought after, Demetrius, and listeners, by everybody in the country. And another point he made was the impact that Arkansas is having in the Louisiana area. It goes back to Coach Michael Smith. He started that back in 2013 when Brett Bielema brought him to Fayetteville. He was able to go in and, open up, a area where Arkansas hadn't been very fortunate over the years. And now, Coach Morris comes in and, you had Chavis, you had Ron Cooper, guys that coached at LSU, so they have those Southern ties. And that entire staff, is very familiar with the way the South, the recruiting landscape is. And I think you're starting to see a lot of dividends. But Arkansas, being able to get in SVPs on his radar, just by being on the radar, Demetrius, shows the type of ability Coach Mo and that staff they have, and their aggressiveness and willingness to go out and go after some of the elite prospects, even when you're a 2-10 ball club and you've only won 11 conference games since 2012. But it was great having SVP on. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to close that. If you want to call in, you can do so, 479-601-7400. But just in case you didn't get a chance to see the big fella out of Warren Easton High School, we're going to give you a couple of minutes to view his highlight reel, and then we'll come back and close this thing out. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a bit.
Season started and kind of get things rolling against Eastern Illinois.
Oh yeah, I think we're all ready. I think it's been a really long off season, especially coming from Omaha. I think we've all been ready for a while.
What was your reaction when DVH told you that you were going to start on Sunday?
Excited. Lacking the most.
Well, what's worked well for you in practice where you're in the rotation this week?
Practice-wise, I think just what's worked best for me is just being able to solidify my stuff and being able to pitch to batters and being able to know what to do, having a plan of attack.
How do you feel about the rotation overall this weekend?
I think it's really strong. I think Zay's really going to anchor us down. I think Nolan on Saturdays is a great choice.
What was it about, Connor that really was able to have him come in here and make the impression quickly like he did in the spring?
Honestly, I think his experience with football helped a lot. He's been in front of a lot of people, so there's no pressure for him. But honestly, his stuff on the mound is awesome. He came out and he looked like he's an experienced veteran guy. I mean, it was crazy to watch him play.
Was that kind of a surprise to the rest of the bullpen, or how did you guys kind of be like, whoa, this guy actually is the real deal?
I mean, we all expect him to come in and be pretty good, but I think what he did this spring kind of caught us off guard. We're like, holy, wow, you're really good.
You said putting on weight. How much weight have you put on?
Since my freshman year, I've put on 25 pounds, and this whole season is a whole 10 pounds.
What do you weigh right now?
180.
Okay, so 180 minus 25.
Oh, yeah.
How much is that? 165?
No, it's 155.
155. I got a D in college algebra. So, I mean, 155, yeah. How do you feel about your weight? Do you want to?
Welcome back. It's our Thursday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. It's our Valentine's February 14th edition of OTH, here brought to you every day on KDSJ 479 from 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. And for those that have just tuned in to our broadcast here on OTH, we just had on 2020 offensive guard and Arkansas major prospect Cedric Van Pran of Warren Easton, New Orleans, Louisiana, Warren Easton High School. 6'4" measurables, 295-pound center, Demetrius, recruited by the likes of Alabama, A&M, LSU, Kentucky, Arkansas, Georgia, and the list continues to grow. And this is going to be a hot prospect. But I agree with you, Demetrius, the young man. And I talked to him last night, and I've spoken to him several times. Tremendous faith, and those are unique individuals. The kid seems to have a plan, wants to major, and kind of have a plan to come back into his community. As I'm noticing a lot of guys from that New Orleans and that Louisiana area going back into their communities, and having an impact, which is always good. Also, too, we had on Coach Ricky Smith, head basketball coach of the North Little Rock Lady Grizzlies. They're 23-0 and ranked #1 in the state of Arkansas. Demetrius, you've been a big proponent of getting in this high school stuff. How you think we did today? Did we pass? Did we pass?
You did all right.
You just did all right. See, my home guy, he ain't gonna give me no type of, it's Valentine's Day. You're supposed to say.
I'm save all the love for your sugar boo. I gotta save all my lady when I get home. So.
Say all that nice talk is for later on down the road. Well, that's going to wrap us up. But before we get out, I want to give a thank you to our sponsors, Lindsay & Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also too in Rogers, also to the Baymont Hotel. It's located at 735 South Shiloh Drive in Fayetteville. And lastly, Locomotion. You can find it located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. I want to give a thank you to my co-host and producer, Demetrius Demigod Johnson, also to our guest, Ricky Smith, head basketball coach of the Northside Lady Grizzlies, and also to Cedric Van Pran of New Orleans, Louisiana, Warren Easton High School. We call him SVP here on OTH. But that's going to do it. On our way to catch a little bit more of the fastest 40, and we'll have all those updates